Okay, guys, today we're gonna be watching creepiest serial killer interviews. Now we're gonna watch this one next. After this one, is it by Big Tongue? Hey, all these people are terrible. I actually agree. Let's get into it. Go subscribe to me. We're trying to hit 100.
Can't get enough tugging? Go to extratug.com for exclusive content that YouTube won't let me post, and also a bunch of other cool things. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're trying to hit 1,000. I'm a little sick right now. Sorry. Hit 100 subscribers by the end of this year.
Have you guys heard of murderers? You know, those kinds of people that get off on killing other people? I'm sure you've seen it in the news. Well, what if I told you that some murderers didn't just stop murdering after the first murder that they did? No, some of them keep murdering. And in a series of murders, they end up becoming serial murderers, aka serial killers. What a dumb intro to this. You guys know what a serial killer is. They make movies about it. We all know John Wayne Gacy, the clown guy. But I thought to myself, hey, Halloween already happened, so why not keep being spooky, I guess. Me and my crack team of researchers have looked up a bunch of serial killers and the interviews that people have had with them. I wanted to get in the mind of a serial killer. You have to watch them talk, and I'm assuming it's not gonna...
I've seen the Jeffrey Dahmer interview, bro. It's killing, bro.
be that funny, but I'm gonna make it funny with my comedic abilities. So we're just gonna jump right through this and see how creepy these fuckers can get. Up first, we have a fella named Edmund Kemper, and Edmund is definitely a serial killer name. American serial killer convicted of murdering 7 women and 1 girl. It's always ladies. Why, fellas? Let's knock it off. Between
John Wayne Gacy, he killed boys, not women.
May 1972 and April 1973,
most killers do it because they consider it like. Why I think is because it's easier, and it's always a sexual thing, you know?
was cooking. Years earlier, at the age of 15, Kemper had murdered his parental grandparents. Kemper was nicknamed
15?
the co-ed killer, as most of his non-familial victims were female college students hitchhiking in the vicinity of Santa Cruz County, California.
Never understood hitchhiking. I'm not getting in a car with a stranger, no matter what.
Notes. 1, if someone's grandparents die, if they're murdered.
And most hitchhikers are like in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going in a person's car in the middle of nowhere, bro.
Murdered brutally? How is he not on the suspect list? Also,
he probably was, but he just hid it.
The reason why people stopped hitchhiking. I mean, it seems like a good way to get around town, but those poor people, they were getting murdered all the time. I understand why parents were afraid their child would become a hitchhiking hippie, because that's Murder Town, USA. Most of his murders included pedophilia, decapitation, dismemberment. I don't know if we're gonna have to bleep any of those words, but if you didn't hear any of them, they weren't good, and if you heard all of them, you know how just bad they were. So let's jump right into the fun bit and see how creepy this fella was.
One victim let me back in the car. I locked myself out. She opened the door for me. My gun was under the seat. Am I a masochist? Am I looking to be tormented further? I'm trying to show you just how awful this got, how commanding these rages got.
Something that makes me mad about serial killers and all these people, they all think they're
so that makes you
so fucking mysterious and smart. Like
So that's the only thing that makes you mad about serial killers is that they think they're like they have big egos, huh?
You can tell this guy just the way he talks. I don't know. It's like that kid who is reading Russian.
No, he talks like. No, actually, it was actually Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein. He was one of those
novels in high school, and he just thinks he's above everybody. You're a fucking idiot. You don't understand humans enough that you have to kill them. I find you despicable. That being said, though, that girl who let him back in the car, what are we doing? Why would we do that? I mean, if you're getting a bad vibe from anybody, don't let them in the car. Or drive away. Do your best. I don't know. Bad survival skills.
Why did you actually kill the
Natural selection?
My frustration, my inability to communicate socially, sexually. I wasn't impotent, but emotionally I was impotent. I was scared to death of...
Do you fucking have autism or something? What do you mean?
Failing in male-female relationships. Even if just sitting...
You were an incel?
Down and talking with the young lady.
Okay, so don't want to say I see myself a little bit in Ed Kemper, but that's...
I should never say that.
It's it's kind of relatable, I guess. A little nerve
The social isolation.
wracking, the whole incel movement, all the fellas out there who are angry at women because they don't understand them. They're all the base level. That's Ed Kemper. Every fucking incel should watch this and really see where they fall on the line of serial killer. And you're telling me he started serial killing because he was trying to get to know women? He talked to 3 girls and said, that's enough, I'm gonna start killing them? Upsetting, at the very least.
So how come they get in a car with somebody at that time?
She judged me not to be that guy. I didn't look like it. It was getting easier to do. I was getting better at it. I was getting less detectable. I started flaunting that invisibility.
That's insane to me. I cannot imagine a more serial killer face.
People trust. This is a trusting person to women, at least back in the day. Most trustable face I've ever seen.
Than this man. I guess maybe back when he was I cannot imagine a more serial killer
I feel like you're just saying that because he's confirmed a serial killer. I don't know if you would say that if he wasn't.
Face than this man. I guess maybe back when he was killing people, this was just what normal people looked like, but thick rimmed glasses with a mustache and a little comb over. Maybe media has taught me, but this is suspect number 1 if someone goes missing in my town. I mean, not everyone with a mustache is a sexual pervert serial killer.
What's it called? Hindsight is 2020.
But almost every sexual pervert serial killer has a mustache. That's just common knowledge. For this guy to say he was flaunting his invisibility, that's just an ignorance on humanity's part. And people should be way more aware of what serial killers look like, i.e. this fella.
Didn't Kemper stop himself toward the end of his career?
Kemper says he did. He says he could have gone on. He said he had fantasies of killing dozens more people, of leaving a trail of bodies across the country, and at one point he just got on the telephone and turned himself in. In his case, he said publicly that it was his mother that he was killing all along. And when he killed his mother, that was the end.
Okay, quick shout out to all the moms out there, all the mothers out there in the big old blue. You gotta be aware that if you have a son, like, you can fuck up your daughter, whatever. It's not great, but not the best situation, but, it's not
I don't know about doing that.
as bad as a mother fucking up her son. I mean, we've seen it in media. We're seeing it in Eddie Kemp. If you fuck up your son enough, he's gonna go on a murdering rampage. I don't know what that is. I don't know how bad mommy issues can get, and I don't understand why those two things are connected, but if a kid doesn't love his mom or he doesn't get enough love for his mother, he turns into the Ed Kemper. He turns into Donald Trump. He turns into a megalomaniac psychopath, and it's just crazy how much that fucks you up. Love your children. I mean, at least
Donald Trump on the same level as this guy. Damn.
show up to one
Yeah, I don't like the guy either. Don't worry.
recital, for fuck's sake.
And that's when I decided I'm going to murder my mother. I knew a week before she died I was going to kill her. And she went out to a party, she got soused, she came home, went to sleep. I was woken up by that, came out, I walked up to her bed, and she said, "Oh, I suppose you're going to want to sit up all night," to her bed. And she said, "Oh, I suppose you're going to come out." I walked up the house.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. Hold up.
She came home, went to sleep. She said, "Oh, I suppose you're going to want to sit up all night and talk now." Shit. And I looked at her, I said, "No." I said, "Good night." And I knew I was going to kill her.
Boo fucking who? Do you want sympathy
why
from
are you
anyone? You're a
crying?
fucking psychopath. These serial killers feed off the concept of that they're interesting now. They were a fucking nobody incel piece of shit, and then they killed a bunch of people, and now suddenly they're doing an interview. Ooh, huzzah. You're a fucking loser. I don't trust those people at all. Abby, if you could stay off my desk for 3 fucking seconds, I swear to God. So we're gonna move on to someone a little easier. Jeffrey Dahmer. Have we heard of Jeffrey Dahmer? Jeffrey Dahmer is the guy who was eating gay men. I think that's what he was all about. And Abby, if you can get
He
off
was gay, so it's like, I think it's okay.
desk. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna be Ed Kemp on your ass. Also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, was an American serial killer and a sex offender who killed and dismembered 17 males between 1978 and 1991. That's a long time to be killing motherfuckers. That's like 2 decades, right? I'm bad at math. Many of his later murders involved pedophilia, cannibalism, and permanent preservations of body parts, typically all or part of the skeleton.
I think what he was trying to do, he was trying to, he was experimenting. He was trying to keep them alive, you know?
And so he was just a fucking psychopath. I mean, obviously, but making Halloween decorations out of people was not that dope.
I was 18 years old, driving home.
I was
saw
18
this
years
hitchhiker
old.
about a
I
mile
was
from my
driving
house,
home.
turned around, picked him up, and that's when the nightmare became a reality.
We're talking about serial killers, baby. This is not for you. You're a little girl and you don't want to hear about these things. People eat people like you.
I mean, first of all, what I said earlier, big thick glasses.
I don't think that people. I don't think serial killers eat people. Eat cats, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Goofy little haircut. These are the serial killers that walks amongst us. Said earlier. Big thick glasses. Goofy little haircut. These are the serial killers that walks amongst us.
Good thing this guy doesn't have glasses. That's all I'm saying.
Also, I don't know if there's been a less serial killers recently, or maybe we just like watching the old ones because the creepy VHS effect
There are serial killers. There was this thing in Austin, right?
kind of adds to it. But like, why are they all back then? Why are the serial killers all in like the 1970s to the 1990s? Why don't we have any new serial killers? I'm not looking for any. I don't want any. Just find it curious.
It just seems so bizarre to me that this obsession that I had been thinking about and wanting, all the parts are there, and they make it possible to make it happen, just at the time when it could happen, when there's nobody at the house for.
Why are they so like articulate, bro? They always like describe stuff in an interesting way, or like interesting to them way.
2 weeks.
Jesus Christ, dude. It's like he's like putting together a craft in Minecraft. That's fucked up. I mean, obviously I don't have a real, guiding post into a serial killer's brain. Anytime I accidentally hurt an animal, I feel really bad. One time when I was a little kid, I shot a BB gun at like a rabbit in my yard and it just screamed for a while.
Why?
I didn't like that at all. I ran away. My dad had to kill it because it was in pain. It's like one of the, if I'm going to hell, it's because of that. But like, there's someone in your office maybe who's just every day sitting there thinking about killing people. It's just on a loop in their head, and one day they might act on it, one day they might never act on it, but like that's a thing that people deal with all the time. My goodness. Now it does happen to appear that it seems like it's always a white man. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe we're just a little bored with the society because things are so easy. I don't know. I don't know the science behind this, but like it's a pattern.
I have no memory of beating him to death.
Singling out the whites, bro.
But I must have.
Friendly fire.
And that's when it all.
But is he implying that he's going to be a serial killer? What does he mean?
Again, I had no intention of hurting him at all.
I don't know, dude. I just don't fucking understand. Brains, I guess, or rotten brains. That's just so crazy, dude. There's a reason why every time I meet a new person, I'm like, oh, cool. Good to meet you. I'm never gonna text you again. If you haven't been in my life for 5 years, I'm gonna assume you're a psychopath murderer because there's so many of them out there, and they're all just walking amongst us. Especially if you're a blonde man. I want to get that clear right now. I don't have any blonde male friends. I don't have one. And
so you're being prejudiced now
because they're all, I don't know. Have you ever met a blonde man? There's a weird amount of confidence in them.
Actually, I met one.
But I don't trust. And a lot of these murderers are charismatic, apparently. That's what they say, but then I watch the interviews and they all seem like duds. So I don't know what the science is.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
They're charismatic to the victims,
Was not
I don't think they cared about being charismatic.
Who was a cannibal or bit his victims or used teeth as a weapon.
He
if
ate
you
his
remember
victims. What do you
about
mean?
infancy, if we go purely psychologically, the only way an infant interacts with his world around him is through touch, feel, and teeth. And this is
What about sound and smell?
the way that babies explore their world with their mouths.
What is this lady trying to say right now? You're
Trying to connect the serial killers to babies? What do you mean?
trying to relate a baby learning from the world by sucking on let's say a penny, and this man eating corpses? You should not be the
Sucking on a penny and sucking on a finger?
expert they're talking to. You seem like a dumb bitch. Also, don't
Damn!
want to bring it up, but she has a blonde, tight little haircut. Don't trust those people.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess there's no limit to evilness in a human. Like if you hear about murders and you're like, that's probably as bad as it gets, and then you keep their bodies and eat them. That's like a Disney film. That's like not even Disney film. That's like a fucking old novel villain, like Jekyll and Hyde, Mr. Shit. I don't
Literally a German bedtime story, bro.
read books, but like I would, it's fucking scary.
Jekyll and Hyde? What are you
in my
saying, bro?
bedroom closet. It contained the mummified head and genitals of a young man I met in one of the bars down in Milwaukee. My dad
That just makes me so fucking uncomfortable.
one week came to visit and happened to see it, and he was wondering what was in it. He didn't know. Nobody knew.
I think some people had an inkling, you fucking creep. Yeah, nobody knew that I had mummified bodies in my apartment. The stench was hidden by Febreze. So we were in the coast
People
was clear.
did know, but it was just like nobody cared, or like the police didn't care.
I mean, first
terrible incompetence in police, bro.
First of all, how do you learn how to mummify something? This was before the internet, so he had to go to the library, I would assume. That's not something they taught us in school. Like, they didn't give us a dead squirrel and said, tomorrow we're going to be mummifying this in lab. You just put it in
Probably by trial and error, because he killed so many people. Like, oh, this doesn't work, so...
salt. I don't know, I don't
I'm
get
gonna do
this.
that
I mean,
again.
fuck, I'm moving on from these fucking, I can't stand these fucking dorks. I am
Why are you making a video on them then?
not like a tough guy, but I just have such a strong inclination to punch these fucking pussies. I don't know, it just makes me so angry.
I think most serial killers are little bitch boys. Or girls. Or they, them. Like, because they don't fight fair. That's what I'm saying. They always attack when you're unexpected. That's what I'm saying, you know?
Moving on to
I keep saying that, but sorry.
Angela Simpson, which is a lady, I believe, from the name.
Ooh.
Oh, this one's a pretty recent one. Okay. Phoenix
Assuming things again? Okay.
resident Angela Simpson will never see the outside of a prison cell again. Considering Simpson seems a bit cray-cray, I think we can also...
Who wrote this article, bro? Seems a bit crazy. She killed someone. What do you mean?
sleep a little better at night knowing this information. Is this, what is this article? I thought this was going to be a news article and you're calling her cray-cray.
Bro, what do you mean?
In April 2012, Judge Paul McCurdy sentenced Simpson to a natural life in prison plus 14 years for the murder of Terry Neely, a disabled man confined to a wheelchair.
Wow.
Simpson lured Neely to her home with the promise of sex and drugs, and once inside the home, Simpson tortured the man over 3 days, which time she pulled the man's teeth out of his mouth and drove nails into his head. Oh my fucking god.
Oh
Neely's
my
autopsy
God.
revealed that he had sustained multiple blunt force head injuries and that he had 3-inch nails hammered to his brain. He had 50 stab wounds and his throat was slashed. His body was then dismembered. Okay, so I guess it's all not
my
white, fellas.
Lord.
This is a black lady. And the note from my researcher says, also, I'm being so real. The whole video is fucked, so have a field day. Okay, thanks.
Oh my god. Okay, this is a warning, guys. If you don't want to hear or see this, click off now. I
I'll
understand.
check it out.
You're very upfront about
World Star.
talking
Why is this on World Star?
about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes,
You tortured him.
of course.
Yeah, in court today you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve
Alright, nah, this is...
to die?
But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill.
No, incorrect. Absolutely
not
incorrect.
true.
You know why people want to kill you, my sweet
You
Angela Simpson?
killed
Is
a
because
disabled guy and tortured him.
you are a fucking crazy person. We want to kill you because you killed someone else.
My reason might not be good to you, but your reason wasn't good to me.
Now that's a really good reason to kill you.
So,
Yeah, great response to that.
I know who you are, but what am I?
Who is this, an alien we're talking to?
I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. Walked him upstairs, kicked his ass, and killed him.
You should never judge a book by its cover. But this lady has a little thing we talk about in the biz, and it's called crazy eyes. Have you
She got I see why the article called her cray-cray.
ever met someone with crazy eyes? It comes in all shapes and forms, but it's what I would imagine if a human being had eyes of a fish that was on the shore.
Isn't that what people are like, hey, look at the eyes, there's no soul behind them.
A
There's no
drowning in
light.
the air fish. I'm gonna give an impression.
I don't understand. I never understood that until... Hold on, let me see this. It's fun. I never understood it, bro. Look at the fucking eyes.
Is on the shore. A drowning in the air fish.
Like a
I'm gonna give an impression
Dog's
right now,
eyes, or
and
like
maybe you
a
guys can glean something from
animal's
this.
eyes.
If
Or
you
like
see
his
somebody
eyes.
with those eyes, at least 90% of the time, give them a wide berth, because there is either too much or too little going behind those eyelids, because they're cooking up schemes that you could never imagine. And that's a good example of this.
Schemes?
Now, I'm not saying that we should judge people and throw them in jail before something happens, because
Even the other guys, if you saw their eyes, they were like, there's
The
nothing.
door for me. My gun was
Charles Manson.
if you see somebody with those eyes, little going behind those eyelids, because they're cooking up schemes that you could never imagine. And that's a good example of this. Now, I'm not saying that we should judge people and throw them in jail before something happens. Be cautious of the fish-eyed motherfuckers, because they're often evil.
Why did you feel like you were in a position to be the judge and jury in Terry Neely's life?
I'm not sure.
What put you in that position to do that to them?
It was just too much. The things he talked about, it was
They
just...
kind of talk the same too. All the killers, like, I don't know. They talk like, who knows, right?
It was too much.
Do you believe him? I mean, lots of people go around claiming I'm a snitch or make themselves...
Really, you don't say.
Well, I think they talk about law. I know people coming. I've got associations with law enforcement.
That's just the fact that she's like giggling and acting like this is a conversation over tea. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy. They turn off a part of their brain that fucks me up. We're gonna move on from this crazy, and I will call her a bitch. I have it in me. She's a crazy bitch, and
You got the other girl a bitch. Why are you calling this one a bitch too? You putting them on the same level?
she's an awful person, and we don't trust her. I think we're gonna end it on Charles Manson for today, and out of everybody, every serial killer out there, I hate Charles Manson more than most. We all knew somebody in middle school who thought they were the girl who hisses at you in middle school, or like the kid who fucking makes up his own language. Like, they think they're fucking cool, but they're not. They're fucking weirdos.
Well, apparently he was cool to a lot of people because this is the cult guy, right?
See, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Shut the fuck up. You can tell he was surrounded by people his whole life that told him he was important and told him he was a special little boy. And then he got a bunch of people around him and he was charismatic enough to make them believe that they believed that that was powerful and magic. And you just need to beat the shit out of these people. Or at the very least, surround them with people that say, hey, you're a dipshit. Get a desk job. What are you doing?
I don't want to take my time going to work.
Damn, his hairline. Damn. The hell happened to him?
I got a motorcycle and a sleeping bag. And 10 or 15 girls. What the hell I want to go off and go to work for? Work for what? Money? I got all the money in the world. I'm the king, man. I run the underworld, guy. When am I going to run around and act like I'm some teeny bopper somewhere for somebody else's money? I make the money, man. I roll the nickels. The game is mine.
Nickels? Saying I roll in nickels when you're talking about, having a bunch of money, that goes pretty hard. I'll give it to him. But, this is such boomer mentality. You know what I mean? Like, just the...
What do you mean, boomer mentality? No, he was probably a baby boomer. What do you expect?
The self-importance of these fucking people who did nothing for the culture. Like, this guy's like, why do I gotta go to work? Because I got 16 girls and a motorcycle. You go to work because the world stops if we all stop working, you fucking asshole. And then you told a bunch of people to murder people. I mean, that's the main focus, but I just find him annoying in general. All right, there's like a million of these fucking murderers, and they're kind of all bumming me out. So I'm gonna end it here. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope I handled this this topic with a little dignity and grace. If I didn't, you can yell at me.
I would say you did all right.
The comments and tell me never to do this again, but fuck all these people. I mean, they're not interesting. They're not smart. They're not clever. They're all fucking stupid. They all got caught because they're all idiots. Listen, okay, this is gonna sound real.
The first guy, he got caught because he let himself get caught, right?
Editor, you don't have to leave. You leave this in. If I wanted to become a serial killer, I am confident I would never get caught because I'm not a fucking idiot. I would go to random cities and I would murder people with no connection. It would be a fellow with brown hair and a lady with orange hair. It would be back and forth random.
Okay, this guy, I'm gonna be real, make a terrible serial killer.
There would be no,
that might be part of his plan.
Couldn't tie anything together. They wouldn't all look like my mom. I wouldn't do it the same way every time. I wouldn't leave a calling card, which some of these fucking people do, where they like take a finger or some shit. But no, they want to they're so proud of their little things. They brag about it. They keep penises in boxes. They're fucking idiots. I hate these people. Like, comment, and subscribe. New videos every Wednesday and Saturday. I'm sorry, but it just pisses me off. Can't get enough tugging. Go to extratug.com.
Is this the same video? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.